Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvabhignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vadaruchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagartha Viva Sampriktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarho Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Yeah, so it keeps shutting off. So let's see what happens. Let me try this. Hopefully we can keep it to stay on. Chant Maheshwara Sutra. Om A I Un Relik E Ong I Ouch Haya Varat Lan Nyamangananam Jabhanya Gadadash Jabagadadash Kapha Chatha Chatatav Kapai Shashasar Hal Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani Om Tipthasji Sipthastha Mip Vasmas Ta Atham Jha Thas Atham Dhvam It Vahi Mahinga Om Su Au Jas Ot Shas Ta Bhyam Bhis Nge Bhyam Bhyas Ngasi Bhyam Bhyas Ngas Os Ni Os Sup. And finally, our prayer. Om Namaskritya Gurum Bhaktya Brahmatmanandarupinam Sadhanasyopadeshtaram Kurve Sadhanabodhinim. Right? Salutations to my teacher, who is of the nature of Brahma, which is Atma, which is Ananda, and that salutation is with Bhakti, right? With salutation. I'm just translating as the words are there. And the description of the teacher is given as Sadhanas Upadeshtaram. Upadeshtaram, the teacher of the sadhanas, of the means. Right? So after saluting all of the teacher, Kurve Sadhanabodhini, I compose Sadhanabodhini. So after devotedly saluting the Guru, who is the nature of Brahman, which is identical to the self, which is Ananda, and who reveals the means, I compose Sadhanabodhini, revealer of the means. Bodhini is teacher, right? Teacher of the means, a revealer. So we were seeing this shloka in our last class, so we'll continue here. You can repeat after me. Tat karmaiva manushyena yoga buddhya swanushtitam mokshasya bhavati dvaram natu bandhana karakam. Okay. So you're just seeing the meaning as a whole. So, but that very action, we're talking about karma. So, but that karma that we've been talking about, if it's performed well with the attitude of karma yoga, because the previous verse was talking about how karma can be a way of staying in samsara, staying in bondage, right? So this is saying, however, or but, that very same karma, if performed well with the attitude of karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Doing proper action with proper attitude becomes the means for moksha and not the cause of bondage. Okay, so that's this sentence. So we're seeing this first sentence, tat karma eva manushyena yoga buddhya swanushtitam. So we were looking at the word swanushtitam before we wrapped up last class. So swanushtitam is not a verb, but it's verb-like. This is what we call a kridanta. 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 Right? So that which ends with a krit pratyaya. Here the pratyaya is this ta, kta, ta. Kta, ta. Right? And ta, that pratyaya, this kridanta. So a kridanta is when we have a dhatu plus a krit pratyaya, and we get a kridanta. So and we get a new pratipadika, right? So the kridanta is a new pratipadika. So here we have these upasarga, then sta dhatu, then kta pratyaya, and this sta pratyaya gives the sense of it's a karmani sense. Karmani. Just like we have a karmani verb, we can have karmani nouns now. Now that we add kridanta. Okay. Meaning that it can take a meaning it's in the sense of like it's in passive voice, right? So when you say swanushtitam, it means well performed, right? Swa plus anu, that gives a sense of well, and sta, it means to do, it means to perform here with these upasarga. So well performed, and the ta gives that passive sense. So it's not performs, but it's what performed. Okay, something is performed, well performed. So we're still going to look for a first case like we do in a verb. But because this is karamani, the first case will be what kind of first case? Karmani prathama, right? Not kartari prathama. So usually we automatically think first case karta. No, but not always, right? You have to see first, you have to go for the verb first, right? That's why we do that. And here it's not the verb, but it's verb-like, it's a kridanta. So that's why we're starting to look at these. Okay, so swanushtitam. How did I know as a kridanta? Is because you start developing this way of seeing dhatus. Okay, it doesn't say sta, but it's close to it, anusta. Okay, and so over time you'll get this training that you'll see So for example, you'll see kru dhatu here, karaka, karaka, right? So there's some common dhatus, then when they're added with this pratyaya, they become kru dhatu, which is a new pratipadika. Okay. So well performed. What is well performed? Okay, so we need to find a first case here. Does anybody want to raise their hand and tell me which is the first case? Yeah. Go ahead and unmute yourself to Sanjeev ji. Oh, Harprasad ji. He started sharing.
Karma.
Karma, yeah. Tat and karma. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. So Harprasad, you have to hit stop sharing at the bottom of your screen, or maybe it's at the top. It should be red. Yeah, perfect. So let me reshare. That's never happened before, so I don't know. That setting is usually turned off, so I'm not sure. Okay. So, yeah, karma, you said karma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, karma, right? Karma is our first case. That is correct. So, well performed, what is performed? Well performed? Karma is well performed. And here we also have tat, because it's referring to that karma. So this is both first case. Okay, other cases, since Premaji, Sanjeevji, if you want to, Manushyena.
Manushyena. It is a 3-1.
3-1. Yoga Buddhya, if you're not sure, that's okay, but you want to try this? Yoga Buddhya.
Yeah. 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah.
It's 3-1. Perfect. And Sunushchitam technically is 1-1. Okay. So what kind of first case here? Kartari Pratama or Karmani Pratama?
Karmani Pratham.
Yeah, Karmani Pratama. Yep. So I'm going to mute you. So that's excellent. So karma is a funny word, right? Karma, as we've seen, is actually karman shabda. Karman. So karman, I actually pulled it up, is just like Brahman. And it's actually napumsakalinga. Okay, other words is like janman, karman, dhaman, naman, vyoman. It's very small down there. But this is, if you want to just note it, I think it's page 142. Page 142. So karman, right? So you can chant it with me, karman, okay? So karman, so would be karma, right? First case, karma. Karmani. Karmani. Okay, so karma, karmani, karmani. And then second case, same thing. Karma, karmani, karmani. Then third case, karmana. See, we said that that ta, bhyam, bis, right? So karmana, karmabhyam, nakara goes away because nakara at the end of the pada goes away. So karmabhyam, then karma bhi. Sorry, it's not letting me zoom in any further for some reason. Fourth case, karmane. For 2, karmabhyam. For 3, karmabhyaha. Fifth case, karmanaha. You can repeat after me if it's hard to read. Yeah, karmanaha, fifth case. Karmabhyam. karmabhyah. Then karmanaha, karmanoho, karmanam, karmani, karmanoho, karmasu. Nakara goes right. Padanta. It's end of pada. He karman, he karmani, he karmani. Okay, so here we've just karma. It could be first case or it could be second case. Okay, but since karma is well performed, that well performed swanushtitam, it's going to be the same case. It's going to be same case as swanushtitam. What is well performed? That karma. There's a question. Sta is used as a verb here. So how is it a pratipadika? Yeah, so we have a dhatu sta here. But just because there's a dhatu doesn't automatically mean it's a verb, right? And so this is the tricky thing, right? Usually what we've seen so far is when we have a dhatu, usually we have a tinganta, or we have a ting pratyaya, and it makes a tinganta, it makes a verb. Dhatu plus ting pratyaya is tinganta, right? But now here you can have dhatu plus krit pratyaya. And if I had a krit pratyaya, example being ta, then it actually becomes a pratipadika, not a, so it's now a nominal base. Then I have to add sup pratyaya on top of that to make it a subanta. So just with the kridanta means it's a new pratipadika, and so now it's can be made into a noun. So technically, it's a noun. It's a pratipadika, which is then you add sup pratyaya, made it noun. So that action is well performed. That action, eva, alone, eva is avyaya word, means alone or only. That karma alone, when well performed, yoga buddhya. Yoga buddhya. So this is third case here. So this was nicely said, right? Here is buddhi is just like mati, feminine. So buddhi is actually ikaranta, short ikaranta, strilinga shabda. So buddhihi, buddhi, buddhayaha. Buddhim, buddhi, buddhihi. Okay, so then all the things in black are just like yeah. So it's a mix between it's a mix between like Hari Shabda and then the feminine, right? Nadi Shabda. Right. So the black is like Nadi, longy. Okay, but so we have matya, matibhyam. So but we're saying buddhi, so buddhya, buddhibhyam, buddhibhi, buddhye or buddhaye, buddhibhyam, buddhibhyam. So etc. But here we have buddhya. So buddhya is 3-1, right? Okay. Buddhya is 3-1, nothing. Like nadya. Okay. So this is slightly different than nadi shabda because it's very similar like hari, except for it's a mix. The ones in black are like nadi. So this is the magic of I can keep things hidden down here without you seeing. So buddhya. So it's well performed with the buddhi, So here buddhi means attitude. Buddhi can mean intellect, but buddhi can also mean attitude, with the attitude of yoga. Here, karma yoga, right? So well performed with the attitude of karma yoga. So this third case, what kind of tritiya? So it's done with this attitude. I would just take it simply. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Yeah, in the chat it says karane. Yeah, karane tritiya. That works, right? So karane tritiya. With the attitude, and then manushyena, by the person. Okay. Now we're in karmani, as though karmani, right? So this third case can also be, first case is karma, and third case can be, yeah, I can see you saying it. Yeah, kartari tritiya. Kartari tritiya. So the doer of the karmani action can be in the third case. Right? So kartari tritiya. So that action is well performed. That action alone is well performed with the attitude of karma yoga by a person. So we can probably switch these two. So that karma is well performed by a person with the attitude of yoga. So tat karmaiva manushyena yoga buddhya swanushtitam. So does that meaning now come to your mind? Tat karma eva swanushtitam, well performed, manushyena, by a person with yoga buddhya. Yeah. There's a question in the chat. How did kta become tam, T-A-M? Because kta, the only thing that remains is the kakara goes away. So that's an ith letter. So we just add ta, the kakara. And then this is napumsaka. So you get that at the end. Like palam or jnanam. Okay, let's go to the next part. Tat karma mokshasya dwaram bhavati. So let's just see that in here. Mokshasya bhavati dwaram. Mokshasya bhavati dwaram natu bandhana karakam. So mokshasya bhavati dwaram. Now I just rearrange the words. So we have to take from the previous, right? Tat karma mokshasya dwaram bhavati. There it says mokshasya bhavati dwaram, but we just need to rearrange the order. So verb, pick it up. Yeah, it's obvious, right? Bhavati. Bhavati. Bhudatu, 1P, to be, lat lakara, kartari prayoga, pratama purusha, ekavachanam. So we have to get in this discipline. Okay. Dhatu, give the information. Pratyaya, give the information. Okay. So bhavati. So this is kim bhavati, tat karma bhavati, right? That action is or becomes. Here, but this is not karmani anymore, karmani pratama. This is now kartari pratama because we're in kartari prayoga. Okay, so the same words can be karmani with reference to one word, but can be kartari with reference to a different action word. Okay, but we have to supply them here. It's not added a second time, but it's implied. Okay, so tat karma bhavati, that action is, sometimes they translate it, bhavati as becomes, that action becomes dwaram. So is what? That action is dwaram, a dwaram, right? This is very similar to other Indian language. Dwara means door, right? Or how does it translate? A means. Literally, it's a door, but it's the means. It's a way of getting something. So because we have bu dhatu, you can't is something, right? You don't usually get a karma, an object of bhavati. When there's bhavati, you get samanadhikaranam or asti, right? So dwaram bhavati. So dwaram is, well, first let's follow the discipline, right? Dwara shabd. So this is dwara pratipadika, akaranta, napumsakalinga, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam, and this is samanadhikaranam to karma. Because that action is the means. Bhavati doesn't take an object, okay? Okay, it becomes the means. Kasya dwaram? Mokshasya dwaram. Okay, it becomes the means of moksha. So this is moksha. Moksha is akaranta pullinga. Here it's shashti vibhakti, ekavachanam. What kind of shashti? Sambandhe shashti to dwaram. So that karma is the means for moksha. When performed with yoga buddhya, right? So it all goes together. Yeah, I'll just finish this and then I'll take the question, okay? So bandhanakarakam tu na bhavati. Okay, so tu is avyaya. So however, or but na bhavati, it is not. What it is not? Tat karma na bhavati. That action is not what? That action is not bandhana karakam. It's not the karaka. Karaka means cause. Cause of bandhana. Bandhana, you notice how English and Sanskrit, same word, bandhana, bondage, right? Or bandana. It holds something together. Yeah. All same root. So this is also first case because it's samanadhikaranam with karma. Okay. So now read this translation. But that very action, if performed well with the attitude of karma yoga, that karma yoga buddhya sunishchitam becomes the means for moksha, moksha se dwaram bhavati, and not the cause of bondage. Bandhana karakam tu na bhavati. So just chanting the whole thing. Tat karmaiva manushyena yoga buddhya swanushtitam mokshasya bhavati dwaram natu bandhana karakam. You should feel like a Sanskrit Pandit when you read this and you know the meaning, right? As you're reading it, you get the meaning. That's hopefully that's happening. Okay, Har Prasadji, you have a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
A couple of questions. So, dwaram here, So dwaram and tat karma, they are in samanadhikarana.
Correct.
And that is that the visheshana for mokshasya? How can that be?
It's visheshana for karma, actually. So karma is the dwaram, the means. Like the cow is brown.
Yeah.
So that karma is the dwaram, the means.
Okay.
So they go together. So I can say, yeah. So that's how they're samanadhika. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's all right. One more question. You are talking about this krudanta that is completely over my head. We have never used this word before, and we don't know anything, the grammatical, whatever, wherever you use it. We have not come across that.
Yeah. There was one class where we did talk about it. So that's why I brought it up. I think it was a few weeks ago. But I can talk about it more and make it more clear.
Yeah, I have zero knowledge on that.
Yeah. Sounds good. I can bring it up more. They'll keep coming. So we'll see them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course. So we actually have just a few minutes. So what I will do is let me see if I have that. I don't think I have that. Let me just see if I have that from what we've talked about. Since we're on the topic, it might be good to just bring it up. So let me do this. Okay, so this is in the Panchavritti. Let me make it bigger. 1 second. This is in the Panchavritti book. Oh, you can't see it. Can you see that? No. Technology is being funny. Okay, that's okay. I'll share it here. So we'll just draw it. Okay, so, and this is, we've talked about this slightly. So what I want to do is just quickly talk about kridanta. Okay, so what is a kridanta? So first of all, we're talking about panchavritti, right? Panchavritti is the type of, is the title of this book. But panchavritti is, a vritti is a derived word, meaning that you have some elements and you can make a new word. Okay, so it's newly derived means newly made. So there's newly made words. So there's panchavrittis. There's 5 different ways of making these new words, right? One of them is called krit vritti. There's half the kara, ta, okay? So vritti. What is a krit vritti? Okay? And a krit vritti, so it's a type of of this new change that can take place by adding a krit pratyaya. Okay, right? Vritti means the new derived word or new change, right? This new word that can be made by adding what? Krit. Krit is a pratyaya. So krit is a type of pratyaya. So what happens here is I have a dhatu. Okay, so I have a dhatu like what we'll see next time is this word. We'll see this word next time is kartavya. Kartavya. That's a new one. Okay, kartavya. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so dhatu. So for example, is kri. Okay, I kri dhatu. Okay, and then I can add a krit pratyaya. Okay, when I add a krit pratyaya, so for example, the dhatu or the krit pratyaya, the example is tavya. Let me make that more clear. Tavya. Okay, that's one of the types. Okay, there's a bunch of different types. Okay, but I can add this krit pratyaya, and what I get out of doing this is I get a new pratipadikam. I get a new pratipadikam. This new pratipadikam is what we call a kridanta. Why is it called a kridanta? Because it's krit anta, kridanta. It's ending with krit, right? A krit pratyaya, kridanta. So, for example, the word we have, and we have to wrap up so we can continue, but is when it becomes kartavya. There's a slight change. Kar becomes kar and then becomes tavya. Okay, so that's the new pratipadika. Tavya here gives another, it's a karmani sense as well, but it's has the sense of like should be done. Should be done. So now this is it can be napumsakalinga, it can be punlinga, and it can be feminine. If it's feminine too, you get kartavya. But here, it's going to be, I think it goes with, so it can be kartavyaha, kartavyo, kartavyaha, just like masculine, or it can be like napumsa, kartavyam, kartavye, kartavyani, like phalam, phalam, phale, phalani. Okay, we do have to end here because I want to give a little break, and then we'll continue. We can talk more about. We'll talk more about these kridanta. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.